Hey, what's up, everybody? Paul here. Bell's here, Left Coast Model Cars. I think we're going to try to get some paint down on a Revell 66 Impala. So I thought I'd kind of show you guys some of our stash here. Bunch of stuff I've actually been cleaning up this out here. We got a whole bunch of stuff. Different paints from Sickens, PPG, Matrix. All this stuff we use. There's some old RC car stuff we used to do, some parts from my truck. I got counsel for my 63 Riviera, some of our big scale stuff, a little bit of it at least. A couple little things up here. Not too much in this shed, most of it's moved around elsewhere. But where we're gonna go, there's been a lot of, seen some videos, people doing stuff with candies and having problems. So I thought, so this kind of, we'll keep most of the House of Colors stuff. Actually not, no, it's migrated across from us. But so a lot of this stuff, it goes a long ways on just doing model cars. There's bases here, and a lot of the urethane candies that I actually probably picked up when I was in high school. And, you know, so far it's still held up. The nice thing is with the new candy, so this would be, you can see here. So this being a KBC is a candy base coat. So the only thing goes in there is reducer. So if I was to use that, anything that's left over mixed in the gun, I can pour it back in. Same with these. This is PBC, Pearl Base Coat. So same thing, just reducer. Passion Pearl, that's actually that purple that's on Bella's 34 truck and my 40 Ford sedan delivery. The blue one, that's some old lacquer. I haven't messed with that since, shoot, I was probably in 5th grade. Try not to mess with that stuff. It's a whole different game for me. So what I'm thinking is, so the easy way, if I was going to shoot this Impala, say in Candy Tangerine, obviously these bases are all going to give it a different effect. Whether you use solar gold, you could use that blue if you wanted. That Nova orange, that looks really good under oranges or golds. And the nice thing is, using that, you don't have to put as much candy down. So the candy we're going to use today is a urethane, so it has hardener, just like your clear wood. So whatever's left over, it's gone, but it's also a little thicker, so you got to watch your coats or it'll build up and you'll start losing detail on your car. So I think for just watching a few videos where people were having problems shooting candies, they were doing the typical silver base. That's what a lot of people use. With House of Colors, you have, I just saw it here, Snow White, that's bittersweet. Where'd our Orion silver go? Just looked at it though. There we go. So Orion silver base coat, that's probably what people are most familiar with. But you can actually, you could use pearls under a candy too. It's just not gonna give the radiant effect these bases will. Like I say, I would normally go with, like if I was doing a blue, I'd probably use my Strato blue. But again, in this case, so I'm gonna hand this off to Belle. We're gonna take our Orion silver. What should we do, Belle? We got organic green, brandy wine. We've got tangerine, we got pagan gold, apple red. Should have, we're gonna spray that 66 Impala. I don't wanna do a red, we're doing reds. We got cobalt blue, oriental blue.
Like a nice,
Let's see.
like not dark, like in the middle.
We got wild cherry, candy teal. The candy teal, I think, has only been used one time since like 1995.
What does it look like?
It's different. It's an old candy teal. I think I bought that back in like 1996. I don't know if I want to do teal on that Impala. I mean, I guess it'd probably look okay, but be different. No, I want to do teal on that. So we got, so this is our old cobalt blue, would be nice. Or we could do a wild cherry or a brandy wine.
You say you already did a red though, no?
Well, not apple red.
Why not do apple red?
No, I don't want to do apple red because we got a bunch in apple red. Should we do cobalt blue?
Yeah.
Okay, take that. All right, guys, sorry for the little back and forth here. So, again, I just kind of had a little time here and watched some videos today, and guys were having problems shooting candy over silver, maybe just not as familiar. So with this, we're gonna grab should be our 310 reducer and our 150 catalyst. Catalyst is just for the candy. So I'm gonna go ahead and pause this. We're gonna take some stuff, get set up, and we'll be back. All right, what's up, everybody? We're back. So what we've got is our 876. That's just a lacquer thinner I use more for cleaning. Man, price of that. I remember when I used to run down and pick that stuff up in 96, 7, 8. It was like 15 bucks a gallon, over 100 bucks now. We got our base, we got our candy, urethane, reducer, strainers, got our gloves, got our Satajet Touch Up Gun, where we're gonna mix, eventually where we'll clean. Hooked up the water trap, just in case. So, all right, we're gonna start mixing a few things up. Be back in a minute. All right, what's good, everybody? So, we've got our Orion silver mixed up. This is just 2 parts color, 1 part reducer. So, hopefully you can kind of see the sparkle. That's what gives your candy. To me, that's what gives it its life. Without that, your candy's just a transparent color. They're nice, don't get me wrong, but this base is what's going to give it the life. So we're going to get this strained into the gun and then start with getting some light coats down. All right, so what I'm going to do first is just blow some air on this. I've already cleaned these pieces, been lightly scribed, hit the mold lines, and then hit the body with, I think it was about some 800 and then 1200, and then wiped it down with some rubbing alcohol. Let that sit. Now we're just going to blow some air over it and start with some light coats of silver. So that's about my first coat. Nothing heavy. Just gonna let that sit for a few minutes. Hit the body real quick. Yeah, and that's our first coat on the body. I'm just gonna let that sit for about 5 minutes, and we'll come back, get another coat on. All right, well, we got that silver sitting. I'm just stirring the cobalt blue. This stuff's sat. I mean, you can see it's almost a full quart. Probably maybe use this once. So what I was showing Belle is, again, with these urethane candies, you can see here it's a nice blue, but I mean there's no sparkle, nothing. So that's where I was saying earlier, the life of the candy, that's coming from your base, which in this case is the Orion silver. So yeah, some folks, when they're not familiar with spraying some of these candies, they'll get their base down, then they'll start spraying their light coats of candy. And it takes a few coats before you really start to see the color cover that base. So if you don't get enough in, people say, well, it's not covering it. It's still seeing silver, and you got to keep putting coats down. That's where the base coats are kind of nice, because everything's in the paint, the color. You just shoot it, and what's underneath can make a difference. I mean, if it was a black base compared to a white base, but not like a urethane where you got the transparent color going over kind of the heart and soul there. So anyways, we're gonna hopefully not have to put too many coats down, because we don't want to lose the moldings or the emblems on this. But that's always a fun part about a urethane, because the urethane is going to be heavier than these bases. So we're going to try to get a good solid base down, and then just get enough urethane candy down to get a nice blue mixed. All right, so here comes basically second coat here of Orion. So it's in the sun, it doesn't look like there's as much silver down. But if you were to take it inside, I mean, that's probably almost all the silver we're going to need. I might shoot one more light coat. We'll see. You always want to make sure you get your wheel wells and that inside edge of the body good. Nothing worse having a nice paint job. And you're going to get those areas. Alright, so that's what we got so far on the body. Actually looking really good. I was seeing a little bit of a release line in the door that I nibbed down, and I don't think it's going to be a problem. And if anything, this will probably be a nice shelf model, so I'm not overly worried about it. Just kind of had a good day. Like I say, saw those videos earlier. Some folks having issues getting their candy down, so really it's just to kind of go over that more than anything. Have some fun. Alright, so here we're coming. I guess this is going to be the third coat of silver. What we did is we took it over in the shade, and you can definitely still see some of the white, so we definitely want to get a nice silver base down. That's really coming to life now. And the stand can be a little tricky to maneuver. This is kind of what I grew up, the way I grew up painting. We make these stands, tape it, and stick it to the roof. I've been using a Tamiya stand, but I got one that the deals pop out on. The other one, all of a sudden the top part started slipping out. So when I move it, the whole thing's been falling. So I went old school here. might be our last coat. That is looking pretty good as far as the way I like that silver base. So looking at blue is gonna look really nice over that. And I don't know if you can see, we still got our emblems there, and that's gonna be the fun things to save with the candy. But the nice part with these new Revell kits are you have the decals. That makes it really nice. That actually helps a lot on this type of paint job. But yeah, so far I'm not seeing any of the mold lines there. The one line I had seen in the door, I mean, I'm not seeing it at all now, so I think we're pretty good. So I think we're gonna put what's left of the silver back in. Like I say, this doesn't have any hardener, so this can go back into the can for next time. And then we'll clean the gun and get it ready for the Cobalt blue. That's UK number 5, urethane can. All right, everybody. So we cleaned out the gun. What was left of the silver, put it back in the quart can. Now we've got our Cobalt blue. So as I explained to Belle, this has a hardener in it, so whatever we don't use, it'll go to waste. With these, I tend to probably overmix. It's 2 parts paint, 1 part reducer, 1 part catalyst. So mix up a total of about 8 ounces, which should be a bit more than we need. But with the candy job, you don't want to run out, because again, you want everything to go on even with the candies. Otherwise, you're going to end up with one side darker than the other, or a hood that doesn't match. With the base coat candies, the last few coats, I'll actually prop the hood in place, but with a hardener, you can't do it because it's like shooting a clear. So here we go. We're going to get a light coat on for the first one, see how it looks. So that's kind of what we got on that first coat. Again, so this is where with the candies and using a touch-up gun compared to like an airbrush, you know, a lot of people look and say, oh man, it's still silver. But again, candies, you're working with something that's transparent. So again, it's layer by layer. So let's get the body going. That's good. So that is our first coat. Looking good, actually. Man, I haven't shot this Cobalt blue, I want to say years, and probably like 25 years. Hopefully it keeps down this path. We'll have a nice Impala body. All right, ready to put down coat number 2 of our Cobalt blue. You can see more of that coming in. All right, so coat number 2 on the body. What we're gonna do is get the coat down, then I'm gonna kind of put it up towards our other 2 pieces, see how they match up, make sure they're as close as we can be. some nice candy in there. Let's take a look now. She's pretty close. We may only need about 1 or 2 more coats. Alright, so as we're getting probably towards the final coat or 2 of color, we're actually going to start with the body, and then that way we can match the smaller pieces up to it. That's looking nice. Now you're really getting that candy effect on there. Well, I'm not doing too bad, I don't think. What do you think?
It's nice. It's
Is
pretty.
it matching up, you think?
Mm-hmm.
I think about 1 more coat, and I think
That'll
we're
do
ready
it.
for clear. I mean, we could probably clear it right now if we wanted. So that's the thing with these having that catalyst. This is just the candy. So some folks using these urethanes, you know, when they know a model's going to go to a show, sit on a table under light, some folks won't clear it. They'll just leave it just like this. You know, firewall, you can always pull it and not clear it, but we're going to go ahead and get some, at least coat or 2 of clear down. All right, so we are ready for clear. Use a lot of different stuff, Deltron, PPG. I haven't used House of Colors clear in a while. Last time we'd used that, it dried a bit harder. It was a little harder to work with if you had to do much rubbing. Just the experience I had. Everybody's got their preference. So last time I had to order some clear. Tried some of this Restoration Shop. Their EC2100 Premium European Clear Coat. So far, the stuff we've done, this has come out really good. It's easy to work with. We've done some models, we've done some motorcycle parts. It's just a 2-to-1 ratio from the clear to the hardener. So we're going to mix them up and hope everything lays down smooth. All right, so we mixed up our clear. We're going to pray everything goes okay. I always get nervous. It seems like this year I've had more problems with paint, materials, plastics than I ever did. So far we're looking good. Shouldn't take too much clear. So far everything's fairly clean. Hopefully it stays that way. So here we go. Just gonna, again, this is pretty tacky, so if anything was in there probably wouldn't blow out anyways. I turned the air pressure down just a little. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. So these clears, definitely different than the ones I used to spray when I was younger, and didn't feel like it, but it's been 25, 30 years, but they were similar to the way I sprayed the bases. You went with a light coat and then kind of worked your way up. Some of these new ones you have to put, that's almost 1 to 2 wet coats and you're done. You gotta see the difference from the deck lid to the roof there, how much difference that clear is making. Pretty good. Yep, we're gonna let that sit now for a few minutes. Come back with one more coat and we should be done. All right, so this is probably gonna be the second and last coat, so it will be a hair heavier. The firewall, I'm not gonna get too much more on, but the hood and the body will get semi-wet coat here. Yeah, with the candy, there's so much going on. You kind of have to pull it into the shade to see what you got. Otherwise, you just go with that sparkle.
How's it look?
It's gonna need a little rubbing in a few spots, but there should be plenty of clear on there to rub it. There's our candy cobalt blue paint job there. Alright guys, so I'm not going to put any more clear. I mean, this thing's pretty wet. It's going to need a little bit of rubbing, but overall pretty clean. So that is, I don't know what your candy does though, is you can roll it and it just looks like, I don't know what you call it, glitter in there. You know, so you saw the silver goes down, then the cobalt blue goes down each coat. You pick up some more color to it until you get the color you want. In this case with the urethane, I mean, I've somewhat limited because you can keep going, you can get a darker blue, but you're gonna lose some detail here. Right now we've got enough detail. This will sit for a few days. As the clear dries, it'll kind of shrink in, tighten up. Well, yeah, well, should be fun. And we'll decide, I guess, kind of what to do with this. I have another one. Maybe at the point I start rubbing, I'll show you the other one I started that had a few hiccups in it, and I think this will probably kind of take its place. So hopefully you guys like this video. Yeah, cool. Any questions, let me know. Otherwise, look for a follow-up either when I can handle the thing or when I'm rubbing on it. So I'll catch you guys later.